Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. If you're listening to this on iTunes, please be sure to leave a review. This week, I would like to talk about the difference between an alpha male and a beta male. I find that whenever I bring up the term alpha male, a lot of people don't really know what an alpha male is. They assume that it's a guy who's a jerk or a guy who controls women, and that is absolutely not true. So I'm going to take you through a date, and I'm going to show you what an alpha male does and a beta male does. I think that'll be easier to understand what the difference is as opposed to just giving you a list of qualities that they have, because you can just Google those. So I think this will be a lot more helpful. And if after listening to this you find that you're a beta male and you think, oh no, women want alpha males, what am I going to do? Well, don't worry. There is a percentage of women that actually want a beta male. It's a lot smaller percentage, obviously, because most women do prefer an alpha male, but there are some women, either alpha women or even beta women, who also want a beta male. So fear not, there's room for everyone. You just have to be yourself, have to be honest and admit if you're a beta male that that's what you are and that's what you prefer to be, and that's fine. You'll find someone. Okay. So let's just say that both men have met someone online and they're contacting her about a date, and it can either be by phone or by text. It doesn't really matter. So the alpha male, he will ask her out sooner in the conversation rather than later. So, you know, a little bit of chit chat, la la la, and then he'll be direct and say, well, I'd love to take you out sometime, or I'd love to take you out. Which night are you free? So he's direct, and that's what alpha males are. They're direct and they take control. As opposed to the beta, he'll beat around the bush, he'll hope that maybe she'll ask him out, he'll wait until the end of the conversation when it looks like it's about to end and she's about to get off the phone or stop texting. Then he'll jump in with something very, casual, like, well, do you want to get together sometime, or do you want to do something sometime? So that's not really direct. He's not saying, which night are you free? I'd love to take you out. He's more beating around the bush. So both women say yes. And for the purpose of this example, I'm going to say that they're going to pick up the woman. Now, I know obviously this wouldn't happen on the first date, that the guy would pick up the woman. But for this example, they are. Okay. So the alpha male picks her up. He knows how to get to her place. He has a GPS. He knows how to work it. And he knows how to get to the restaurant. When he's driving, he's sure of his driving. He's polite, but he also takes the right of way. So he's taking control of the driving and being alpha in the driving, so that you know he's in control and you feel very comfortable in the car with him. Now, the beta male, he might get lost on his way to her. He may not know how to work the GPS. He may have to call and say, hey, I'm lost. Where are you? Which street are you on? I got lost, blah, blah, blah. And then when he picks her up, he again may not know the way to the restaurant and go, hey, do you know how to get there? And in his driving, he's unsure, and he might stay in the slow lane even though he can change to the fast lane, but he'll stay in the slow lane. He's reluctant to pass other cars. So that's more beta male behavior. And trust me, women notice this. They know when a guy is sure behind the wheel, sure of himself, and if he isn't, and they feel safer with a guy who is sure, therefore with the alpha male. So our alpha male and our beta male, they get to the restaurant and their table's not ready. What? And the hostess says, if you could wait for a few minutes, the table's not ready yet. Cool. So after about 15 minutes, they're still waiting. The alpha male, without any prompting, goes over to the hostess and says, excuse me, we had a reservation for 7 p.m. We've been waiting 15 minutes. We were told it would only be a few minutes. My date and I are hungry and we'd like our table. So he takes control of the situation. He's not rude. He's polite, but he's not going to just wait there until God knows when, until they finally get a table. Whereas the beta male, he probably won't say anything. And even if the woman says, I'm hungry, he might say something like, me too. And in fact, maybe the woman is going to have to flag down the hostess or go up to her and say, hey, we're waiting. So he doesn't take control of the situation. Alpha males take control of the situation. They don't control the women. They control the situation to make sure the woman is comfortable. So they finally get their table. At the dinner table, the alpha male, he talks about his plans and dreams for the future. He's positive. He's not worried about whether she's interested in him or not. He's confident. He has high self-esteem. And he also takes control at the table. He pours her water or wine. If they need something, he calls the waiter. Whereas the beta male, he's less sure of himself. He complains about things that aren't going right in his life. He worries about whether she's interested. He says things to pump himself up and make himself look good. It's approval-seeking behavior. Whereas the beta male is sure of himself, and it's like, well, you either like me or you don't. I think I'm a great guy, but if you don't like me, oh well. And I'm not saying he says that to the woman, but that's his attitude. Whereas the beta male, he's not sure, so he engages in approval-seeking behavior. And finally, they take their date home, to her home. And the beta male says, I had a great time. I'd love to see you again. And he goes in for the kiss because he knows that is really the only way to be certain how she feels about you, because if a woman is willing to kiss you on the lips, then she's probably interested, but if she turns her cheek, then she's probably not. Whereas the beta male, being unsure, he won't be as direct. So he might say, well, I had fun, and he might even say to the woman, call me again, call me if you want to get together again. So he's putting the onus on the woman because he's unsure and he doesn't want to say something wrong, so he's trying to make her be the alpha and take control. And also, he may not go in for the kiss, and so he's not going to know whether she's interested or not. So there you have the main differences between the alpha male and the beta male. If you have any questions, or if you would like private coaching regarding this, I can be reached at my website, theartoflove.net. And in the meantime, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.